Hey there, adoring public. It's Adam. We've got a sample for you of our brand new show, People Also Watched. It's where Tara, Dave, and myself compare blockbuster new releases to other movies people might have also watched. It's a lot of fun, and you guys don't want to miss out. So make sure you subscribe on iTunes and Spotify. And don't forget to follow us on social media at People Also Watch on Twitter and on Instagram. No ED. No one likes ED. And now, here's the show.
Hi, this is Dave.
This is Tara.
And this is Adam, and you're listening to People Also Watched.
We're three industry insiders clinging onto the lower rungs of the Hollywood ladder, and we love examining movies.
Okay, we love it, Dave. Every month, studios release a big budget feature, and for every one of those, there are a ton of lesser-known movies you just might love.
So as we desperately cling here to the bottom of our career ladder, we're going to watch big budget movies, but we're also going to introduce you to an older, nearly forgotten movie that people also watched.
Like and subscribe to us wherever you listen to podcasts.
And don't forget to follow us on the social medias. On Twitter and on Instagram, we are at People Also Watch. No ED, because no one likes ED. Just ask Dave's wife. While you're there on our various social media channels, tell us what big budget movies you're looking forward to seeing. Or tell us about a lesser-known movie that you love and you think everyone should see. We value your opinion. I promise.
I've noticed on my Instagram, I'm getting a lot of ED messages. And I don't know.
Well, Dave.
I don't know why they're singling me out now, but hymns is really after me.
I love the idea that Google is listening to this podcast and just flooding your inbox with ED.
It's like, oh, they're talking about ED a lot.
Dave, if you're going to be the face of a campaign, let's just say your face is made for this one.
You've got the face that limps 1,000 penises. Well, switching over to Christmas now.
Merry Christmas. First of all, Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry
holidays.
Christmas.
Happy
holidays.
Yes, it's that time of year to be ho-ho-hoing into the ha-ha holidays with two Christmas movies, one starring a former child star and the other starring, more recent child stars.
The first is a Netflix original movie starring Lindsay Lohan in this holiday rom-com appropriately titled Falling for Christmas. So, Tara, what's your logline for this movie?
Okay, I want you to know I thought about this a lot. I did not consult any websites because I could come up with this entirely on my own.
Go, Tara, go.
A rich woman gets amnesia, and a stranger teaches her how to become an adult at Christmas. Am I wrong?
No.
Tell me I'm wrong.
No. I want to let the people at home know that we have a script for the opening, and Dave parentheses here, Tara gives some terrible log line. But I think that was a fantastic log line, Tara.
Thank you, Adam. Yeah, thanks, Dave, for doubting me in print.
that captures this movie perfectly. Because this is essentially, in the tradition of Hallmark original movies, but on Netflix.
Yeah.
And everyone does even Discovery Plus is doing holiday rom-coms now with their reality stars like Cake Boss and New Mexico dude, whose name I forget right now, Johnny Bravo. Who's the... It doesn't matter.
Guy Fieri. Is it Guy Fieri?
No, but that would be awesome because it's like, ho, 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 I'm going into Flavor Town.
Ugh, gross. Also in a romantic comedy, I don't want anyone saying Flavor Town to anybody else.
Although, I gotta say, Discovery Plus, if you're listening, a Guy Fieri rom-com, you've got to make it. It's a road movie. It's a woman who doesn't believe in Christmas, and then Guy Fieri comes, drives her to several different diners to show her the true meaning of Christmas, and they fall in love.
Oh, it's
done. Thank you. Out.
But I like that he turns into a Ferrari.
Oh no, he's a transformer. He's definitely a transformer. Yeah.
He's a transformer. Did I screw up his last name?
Yeah, it's
but I liked it. It's better. I like Ferrari. Guy Fieri sounds much cooler.
Well, I wanted to ask you guys about this because I don't have a lot of experience with these holiday movies, and I don't know if Dave or Tara, either one of you do.
I kind of do.
I've dipped my toe in the water.
Okay, fair enough. So this is a Netflix holiday movie. And I know they've
Yes.
made and continue to make a lot of Christmas holiday movies.
Yes.
And there were these random appearances by characters in this movie that clearly looked like featured actors, like people that they brought in specifically for this part. And I wanted to know, is there like a Netflix extended cinematic universe of holiday movies and these people are in other holiday movies? Because I'd be sitting there, and for instance, at the end of the movies, there's this big party scene, right? And, like, some people roll up in, like, ugly Christmas sweaters. And some people rolling up in straight-up tuxedos. And I'm going, is the idea that, like, this is a crossover, holiday movie? Like, is someone coming? Like, is that a thing? And why isn't it if it's not?
I don't think it's a thing. I think it should be a thing. I'm sorry, Tara.
No, Dave, you're right. But here's what I think it is, Adam. It's stock characters. Is like a lot of these movies,
Yes.
what they rely on is stock characters. Like
Okay.
you have the friendly, cute old widow neighbor, or you have the lady who owns a jam store or a candle store, or or there'd be like literally, or like the rich guy who owns the mansion in town, and so
Right.
he wears he would wear a tuxedo because God, why would he not try less hard, right? I don't know.
There's also the Secret Santa. The guy who is in 3 scenes who looks like Santa Claus.
Yes, but is
And does something magical,
Yes.
and you're like,
yes.
Can we talk about how creepy that Santa was, by the way?
Aw.
Like, not only...
he was
Right.
creepy.
So
Porn star Santa.
General synopsis, by the way, everybody at home who hasn't seen this brilliant piece of cinematic work. Lindsay Lohan... what was it? Overboard? Was that the movie? The
Yes,
Kurt Russell?
yes.
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 It's Overboard. Basically,
Yes.
rich woman, poor
Yes.
dude. Rich woman gets amnesia. Poor dude shows her how to live. Fine, great.
I want to just real quick there before you continue. This poor dude owns a ski resort.
Bro, oh yeah. He's like,
As a note.
I own a humble.
Like the cutest fucking ski resort I've ever seen. And he's like,
we're in
I'm
such
so poor.
financial trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was like,
he
what?
can't make it work either, and he seems to have customers. Like it's like they're going in. Like there's a montage where they're trying to get Lindsay Lohan to figure out what she's good at, and because she's rich, and as Tara says, they teach her how to be an adult. Like she can't cook.
She doesn't know how to make a bed.
Right?
She doesn't know how to make a bed. So there are other customers in this place.
Yeah.
So it's not like they're not making money.
Well,
Anyways,
if he hadn't,
sorry, Adam.
if he hadn't blown his whole budget on Christmas decorations for his holiday lodge, that's probably what it is. Like, this guy's just a really bad businessman. Because every single inch of this guy's
Oh my
place
God.
is covered in garland and
Yeah.
trees. And then they're like, oh, he works very hard. But then you see these montages of him just sitting around playing guitar for just Lindsay Lohan, the daughter, and his mother-in-law. Like, that's what they're doing. They're like, I'm like, you should be working, sir. You have a failing business and a daughter to support. Anyway.
That is an you bring up the daughter. So his wife passed away 2 years ago, which is the sweet spot for movie wives to pass away.
Absolutely.
Yo, yeah, it's gotta be
Especially
because-
Chris. There's got to be a tragedy that we never see, but we know existed.
And it can't be too
Yes.
long ago.
Right.
Can't be too long ago because what are you doing? Get on with your life.
Yes.
You're suffering from depression. And it can't be too soon because it's like, well, you're betraying her love.
Exactly.
So, but the daughter is like probably on Tinder for her dad because she is pushing Lindsay Lohan on her dad so hard that she's his pimp. It was very uncomfortable to me.
Yeah.
Because she was just like casting Lindsay Lohan as this default mother in a relationship that may not work ultimately, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Will not work.
There's no hope. The other thing that let's just address the Lindsay Lohan of it all. Like the first thing, when we see her, she's waking up in bed and it's like, okay, wait, but she comes in this exquisitely dolled up outfit, and I just looked at that and I was like, man, how many hours in makeup and hair? Like that was a lift.
Yes.
Like they had to do a lift of just getting her to, and also I don't know, there was just a line of the whole time she doesn't really ever really seem interested in him or the guy she's like, she
Yeah.
doesn't seem interested in anybody.
No,
And like,
no.
so when it turns and they're like, of course they're going to profess their love for each other. Sorry, newsflash, everybody. That's how every one of these movies ends. But I was like, but does she? And does he? I mean, he's really trying to like her.
Right.
They are relying on him to provide the chemistry for them both. And
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't want that to be a slam on what's her
Lindsay
Lohan, because I found her so. It's so bizarre to me because she is so kind of charming and fun and not able to act at the same time. and it's like this conflict in my head that I find compelling.
But after
they rely on him
Right.
to like give the looks that are like, he's getting sweet on her.
But
Yeah.
did you see? So after the movie ends, they're rolling bloopers at the end of the movie, and I
couldn't.
watched them.
I
and-
couldn't.
But here's the thing: Lindsay Lohan seemed very natural and organic and fun.
Yeah.
In all of
Yeah.
those bloopers, I'm like, oh, that's who Lindsay Lohan is. But then you see her on screen, and she's a ribbit. She's just like beep bop boop. I'm in love. Beep bop boop. Sorry, I have to go back to the creepy Santa thing because this drove me nuts.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
yes,
so-
definitely.
Sorry, overboard. Basically, she gets amnesia. He teaches her how to love, blah, blah, blah. All of this, it's implied, is initiated because the little girl goes to a wishing tree at Christmas time and wishes for like a mom or someone for her dad to love or some crap
Right.
like that. Which point, Santa goes, gotcha, wink, wink.
Yes.
I'm going to give this woman a concussion.
Yes.
Just going
Yes.
nuts.
And potentially kill her fiance who falls down a mountain. Let's not forget that part.
Yep. So basically, all of a sudden, they're getting. Then it cuts to Lindsay Lohan, and like Tara was saying, her fiance on the top of a mountain, and they both fall off opposite sides of the mountain.
A mountain.
And Lindsay gets amnesia, and I'm going, that's Santa. And then
Yeah.
and then throughout the movie, Santa keeps showing up, being like, look at the job I did. I think Santa's
Yeah.
showing up like, oh, did I kill that bitch? I didn't. All right, we're good. Is she slurring? She's not slurring her words, everybody. Santa's good. Kris Kringle's good.
We're good.
Kris Kringle's good. I did it.
That's funny, Adam. I didn't think about that, but Santa in this movie is kind of twisted. It's like, no, why don't you, instead of like her meeting him in the lobby again and being like, oh, I like you, he's like, no, you will fall off a mountain and forget who you are in order to love. Like,
The only way it would have been creepier is if it had cut to like Kris Kringle like sneaking up to her drink at a bar and like dropping in a little pill and then like and then going back up the chimney. Like, what the is wrong with you, Santa?
Oh.
Santa Cosby, what are you doing here?
I don't know Santa Cosby.
Well, there was that minute. Wait, there was that moment where she like was holding up a Cosby sweater. Remember, she's like, I don't know what I have to wear, and then she holds up like,
Jesus. Oh my God. I don't know if you guys picked up on this, but as this movie was going, and when the amnesia part is introduced, and so basically she gets amnesia, the hero guy finds her in the woods, like passed out, like who knows if she's alive or dead because she's literally knocked out. They take her back to his lodge and put her in a room. So she wakes up again, like doesn't know where she is. And by the way, you didn't call the police immediately?
No, they went to the hospital. No, that was the hospital.
Oh, right. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Anyways, point is like the hospital does no follow-up. They're just like, oh, nobody's going to claim her. And you're like, what? Nobody's going to claim? Like, and then you're just going to let a stranger take her?
Yeah.
And so they let a strange man and his whatever take her. And guys, this is also the plot of, you may have, if you want to listen to our other podcast on this, this is the plot of I Know Who Killed Me, but with a Christmas twist.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
right.
it's a rom-com Christmas. I Know Who Killed Me.
It
I
is.
know what you got me for Christmas last Christmas.
So
That's
that's
a
Lindsay
terrible
bursting
title.
into her agent's office being like, look, I don't think we quite got it with I Know Who Killed Me. Give me a script which is very close, but at the time of Christmas, and we're going to knock this baby out of the park.
Usually we only talk about 10, 15 minutes, and we're like 12 minutes in, and there's still so much I want to say. So, first of all, the boyfriend, like the rich boyfriend from the beginning, her original boyfriend who proposes to her.
Tad.
Tad. He gets lost in the woods as well.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And he ends up meeting this guy, Ralph, who is a ice hole fisher and like outdoorsman. He's kind of like maybe 60 years old with a beard. And And to tell you the truth, he was my favorite actor in this whole movie.
That's funny.
But halfway through, like, there's about 5 scenes with them together, and Ralph's, like, helping Tad kind of be a man and also helping him get out of Mother Nature. And I was wondering, is this part of the rom-com?
Yes.
Did
I
they
think it
have a
should have
meet
been.
cute?
I thought, yeah.
Tad likes Ralph a lot.
Right.
And I thought at the end they were going to end up together.
Yeah, I did too. I think that would have been a great twist because it's Netflix, so they're not adherent to all the Hallmark rules, right?
Right.
Yes.
This was a slapstick comedy, not a great one, but it was a slapstick comedy.
Oh my God!
It's really hard to do physical humor well when you're not doing the physical humor.
Yeah.
It was really odd. But no, I completely agree with you. I think like the Tad and Ralph thing should have happened. It would have made a warmth appear in my Grinch style heart.
Yeah.
Well, but especially because at the end, Tad does get together with a guy.
He does, right?
And which is like,
Wait, I missed that. Really?
he gets together with her assistant.
Yeah, they like go off for 2 years together.
He's like,
or
you want
whatever.
to, like, he's like, Lindsay Lohan's, like, I'm not going to marry you, whatever. And then her assistant's there, like, well, okay. And then the guy, Tad's like, do you want to come with me? And the assistant's like, yeah. And I was like, oh, you don't think your boss is going to have a problem with that, by the way? But okay.
Yeah. He just walked out on you, Christmas. All right, good luck.
It's okay. The boss, she grew, so she doesn't need the assistant anymore. She knows how to flip a pancake and how to make a bed now. She's good.
By the way, speaking of the father, real quick, I don't want to.
Oh, yeah.
It was.
Oh, God.
So the father and Lindsay Lohan would have these moments looking at each other, and they've both had so much plastic surgery that it was like, I know they're trying to have a moment. I just don't know what that moment is, because there's no part of their face that's moving.
Yeah. But they're looking
I'm
at
gonna
each
say-
other hard.
Oh, real hard.
Yeah.
We've been really hogging this one day. Me and
No,
you've been
that's
going
all right.
back and
We
forth.
have. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I just want to, there's 3 highlights of this movie that I really want to highlight to why, okay. If you watch this movie, you're going to get really good lines like, gondolas are for losers. Okay? That's moment number 1. No, it's the moment number 1. Okay, and then moment number 2 is in process of trying to teach her how to be an adult woman, she starts to clean a toilet. And for some reason, she's like pushing down on it and cleaning, and then the toilet explodes, like the water goes all over her. And I'm like, why did it do that? Why, like, was a toilet sexually excited? Because I don't understand why it just exploded. I don't know. And
All
then,
that tension.
All that tension.
Yes.
She cleaned it so good it decided to explode. I don't understand that. And then okay, I have a third and a half, and then I have a fourth. Okay, no, I have a third and a half. The third and a half is she's at the doctor's office with amnesia, and the doctor puts an ice pack on her head.
Yeah.
Okay, but my
Because
final
that's how
point.
you cure it.
My only final point about this movie, which is again, I can suspend all disbelief. What I had the hardest time believing is this is a well-known influencer woman. She is rich.
Yes.
She is known. She is very identifiable. But even if this doctor and these 4 people don't recognize her, somebody would. And so for like days and days and days, nobody reports her missing, which they try to address in later, which I was like, okay. But nobody reports her missing, and nobody recognizes her, and she's out and about.
Right.
Yeah.
So
in the town where her billionaire dad
Yes.
owns the biggest hotel.
Well,
Right.
And couple that with the fact that she was found in ski clothes with skis attached to her feet, and it's a skiing village. Don't you think they would have gone to the biggest ski lodge and be like, "Hey, is anybody missing a redhead?" You know what I mean? Like, movie's over.
it was weird.
I do have to ask, and I'll ask both of you, but I'm really asking Tara.
Oh, great.
During the pancake flipping scene, there's a scene where they're making breakfast, and it's during the montage of their falling in love.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
And he's showing her the good guy, the new boyfriend, whatever, showing her how to flip a pancake, in a pan, not with a spatula, but just by throwing the pan up. And he does that move where he puts his arms around her
Yes.
and like grabs her by the wrist, and then the other arms around her waist.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, in 2022, that felt very uncomfortable. I was like, whoa, dude, no, that's not. That's not the move here.
Dave, that's how
wrong?
That's how my husband taught me to flip a pancake. I just want to know.
That's not how you flip a pancake. Like, that's the other. I worked at a diner. I was a short order cook. You flip a pancake once, and you have to use the spatula because the other side is still runny. If you
know what, Adam?
Like that,
Adam, I don't want to taste your pancakes then.
You know what?
The other thing, I'm sorry, the other thing at the top of the movie, they set her up. And people keep going, hey, do you want some bacon? And she's like, I don't do bacon.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was like, great, you're vegetarian or whatever. That's actually a good move. And then in the middle of the movie, the daughter's like, the guy's daughter is like, hey, you want some bacon? And she's like, no, I don't do bacon. And then they force her to eat bacon.
To eat it.
Yep.
I felt that moment too. I was like, oh, I don't like that. That's like if you're making a vegetarian eat bacon, and then she's like, "Oh, this is delicious." Well, yeah, of course it's delicious. It's bacon. But like she had a moral stance why she wasn't gonna eat it.
Right. And I guess because at the end of the movie, she's like, "I eat bacon now."
Right. I know we're running really late, so I just want to say one last thing.
Okay.
I think the biggest problem with this movie for me is it started at the top, and Lindsay Lohan's character was not in any way relatable. And
Yeah.
I did not feel like she was taken advantage of by her father or her what's it called? Her like fiance. Like she's sitting there going, I want to do my own thing, but I don't know what I want to do, and I have no prospects or interests or drive. And I'm like, well then, fuck you, rich lady. Like I don't care. And then, at the top of the movie, she's like, I know my dad's gonna offer me this like bullshit position within his company, which is called like executive of atmosphere or something, but I want to do something on my own. And like, well, what do you want to do? And I'm not sure, and please correct me if I'm wrong. The only thing I kind of heard her say she wants to do is be kind of an influencer.
Yeah,
right?
I don't think she's not like, let's go to law school.
Right, or anything like that. It's like, and I'm going, well then take the job, lady.
Yeah, take the job. Do
why
something.
wouldn't you take the job? And her father was nice. Like, her father, throughout this entire movie, was like a really nice billionaire. Like, even at the top, when the dude came to... the movie opens with the guy who owns the smaller chalet coming up to the Lindsay Lohan's father and being like, hey, look, this is my business proposition. I need some investors. And the guy turned him down, but he wasn't like, get out of here, you unwashed peasant. He was just like, no thanks, I'm good. Have a cocoa. Have a good day. Like...
Yeah.
They needed to make him a tyrant, or they needed to make the fiancé a real, like, he was an idiot douchebag, but he wasn't, like, an abusive, hurt Lindsay Lohan idiot douchebag. Like, I feel like they needed that level in order for me to give a crap that Lindsay Lohan is going to end up with the other guy.
Yeah, I totally agree. There was nothing that was pushing her in any direction that she didn't guide herself.
Right.
I think it's time to close the Lohan, if you will. To lower the Lohan. I don't know. I was trying to think of something good to just stop talking about this movie.
Well, after we come back from the commercial, we can talk about Dave's love of young children.
Ooh, perfect.
What? Now here's a movie that people also watched, the 2006 theatrical release of Unaccompanied Minors.
All right, Tara, you're riding that log line sleigh. What do you got?
Oh, boy. Well, I hope Rudolph helped me out with this one. So for Unaccompanied Minors, I consulted no one or nothing except the watching of this movie. So this is what I got out of this movie. Kids traveling without their parents are awful, and adults are dumb. And one time at Christmas, it snows, and they all get stuck in an airport, but they can also kind of get out of the airport and then back in it, and then they fight.
I just want to let everybody know, Tara had COVID when she was watching these movies.
I did.
And I really think what it did is instead of like fuzzying up her mental facility, it really honed it in.
I'm
like it really
sharp as a tack.
It really did.
COVID really enhanced my all my mental capabilities. Yeah, by the way, this movie will be forever tied to me watching it with COVID and being like, half the time I'm like, is this real or am I hallucinating? I can't quite tell. I would always go, God, I hope this is a hallucination, because this cannot be a real movie that people paid money and filmed.
Oh, you mean that Paul Feig directed?
I know, Paul Feig.
That's right.
I literally was like, I jaw dropped when I saw that part. I was like, come on, Paul.
Yeah. Let's start with the list of people in this movie, okay?
Oh,
Yes.
God.
Rob Corddry, Louis Black, what's his name? Rob Riggles?
Rob
Rob
Riggle.
Rob Riggle.
Yeah.
You've got Mindy Kaling.
Yeah,
You've got,
baby Mindy
That's
Kaling.
right. BJ Novak.
BJ Novak.
BJ Novak. Kristen
Rob
Wiig.
Corddry. Kristen Wiig.
Like, you have some
That's
huge
right.
hitters.
3 of the kids in the hall.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Wilder Valderrama is in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, there are these huge names.
Big
And
cast.
what? Who is this movie for? Why was it made?
That's what I said. Like, ultimately, I kept asking myself, who is supposed to enjoy this movie?
Yeah, I didn't get it.
I jotted down a log line, and it was Home Alone in an airport. And
I bet that's what
think
they
that's
pitched.
like
I bet that's what they pitched.
family with kids.
See, I thought it was
audience?
like a breakfast club for idiots is kind of how I pictured this movie.
That is a much better.
Because,
Because all those archetypes are there.
right. And it's tough because they're at a really weird age. All the leads, or they're supposed to be, at a really weird age
Yes.
in this movie. Because they're not under 10 and they're not over 16. They're in that weird like mid-teen area.
Yeah, it's like a pre-teeny. Like, they have all they're smart enough to figure things out, but they can't, like, drive.
Right, like for instance, the start of the movie is a montage of each of the lead kids going to see Santa. And they're all, honestly, too old to be going to see Santa.
Yes.
They're all like 11 or
Yes.
12.
And
But-
they're all jerks. Every
and they're
single
all
one
jerks.
of them.
And then you have one of the girls is like, oh, you're a sexy Santa. How you doing? And then throughout the movie, there's various moments where, like, she's sexualized.
Yeah.
Right? Am I not
Yes.
wrong there? And I don't mean that in like a typical like, oh, she's the cute girl in the movie for
No.
the
No.
male, cute boy to like have a moment with. Like, she's sexualized in the movie. She says things like, should I be walking around this airport naked? I'm like,
Yeah.
what is going on?
Well, I know
That's
this
a
was like
good
this
point.
movie's from like 2006, but even then I was like, ooh, this is really toeing the line about what what little, like, she's a
Yes.
little girl.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Like, she's a small child, right? She's a teenager. An
Yeah.
early teenager.
A tween, right?
Yeah, she's
Like,
tween.
She's 14. I thought she was 14-ish.
Yeah, I think that's a fair
Um,
assessment. She's 14-ish.
Oh, you know what? I forgot. I had an alternate log line. So
Oh, please.
this is
Oh,
another
let's hear it.
alternate. The premise of this movie is what happens to kids stuck in an airport during a storm when security doesn't exist anymore, and this airport would be sued into next century for treating children the way that they've treated these children.
Yes.
Well, that's the other weird part about this movie. So Louis Black is the head of the airport, I guess, is his title.
Yeah.
I don't know what his title
Yes,
is. He's
that's
head of
exactly
airport.
his title.
And he and the kids are, in constant confrontation throughout the movie. And these kids, let's be honest, for no real reason, are being real assholes.
I mean,
in the movie.
monsters.
Yes.
Monsters.
No reason. Like, one kid orders a bunch of food at the restaurant doesn't pay. A girl sneaks into a massage place.
Yeah.
Another girl just hijacks a freaking golf cart and starts driving it into crap. And Louis Black is like, these kids,
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
get you. And I'm like, do what? Are you gonna
Yeah.
beat the shit out of children? You can't.
And
can't-
also, the premise of the fact that, like, there's a blizzard and so everybody has to stay inside the airport, I'm like, not a parent on this planet would allow. Like, if you drop, like, that's the thing
Yeah.
is, like, there's, like, 30, 40 of these kids and not a single parent tries to come back to come and get their kid.
Right.
Wait,
Like,
let
what are
me-
you talking about?
I'm going to admit that I kind of was watching this movie, but not watching it.
Same, after a certain point.
Yeah.
And I missed how they got to the airport because the mother, okay, they're in an airport somewhere that maybe 60, 70 miles from Pennsylvania. So maybe like New York-ish. New York City-ish or New Jersey or something. So they're on the East Coast. The mother is in L.A.
Yeah.
and the dad is in Pennsylvania. Who brought the two main kids to the airport? And
These are great
why were
questions.
they at that airport?
No.
When they should
Hold
be
on.
at a-
Hold on.
Wait.
This I can solve. So
Okay.
they
thank
drop the kids on the airport in L.A.
Yes.
and it's a layover.
Yeah, it's a connector.
All the
I
planes
thought
got
so, too.
grounded at this airport because of the blizzard. But
Yes.
at the same time, they're like, okay, and no one can get in and out. But Rob Corddry, who's the kid's dad, who, by the way, he's being slammed the whole movie for not being a good dad.
Oh my
Dude,
God.
as soon as he finds out his kids are in an airport, jumps in his car and drives through a blizzard
Yes.
to get his kids. So,
Yes.
But, like, people are able to drive.
Yeah.
People are able to drive.
Yeah, he was. He should not have been, because he had a front-wheel drive car.
Yeah.
And
Volvo. Yep.
running on biodiesel. And it was
yes.
like a 1967 Saab or something. And he should not have been able to drive at all. Like that, the whole blizzard thing, because there's a point the next day they look out the window and a plane is covered in snow.
Yeah.
But it's not like the plane is buried. You know
No.
what I mean?
Right,
It's
right.
like the runway still looked kind of fine. They were not stuck in that airport.
Yeah.
There was
I'm
so many steps to like I understand. It just like I think the
Yes,
thing that like
so many.
this is after 2001. The reality of any number of these things happening in an airport is 0%. Like that's the problem. It's like it's your setting.
Yes.
It's like you're never you
They
could never
lock the kids in a room.
Exactly. They lock the kids in the room. The kids are able to steal a golf cart. Like there's so many levels to just like even if you were following one kid who managed to elude security, I might buy it, right? And he enrolls one other kid. But you're talking like 40 kids are running loose through an airport?
Right.
Okay.
Either that or completely abandon realism.
Right.
Like, throw it out. Throw it all out. Make Lewis Black a freaking demon overlord of the airport who's like, everyone in my airport obeys my law. And like make him a tyrant. You know,
I have the most efficient airport ever.
Exactly.
And my end of the year bonus is riding on this.
Right.
you
I
go.
need to get all these. I need to get X amount of flights out on time. That's
Yes.
it. And
Yeah.
that's it.
And I'm going to do that. I'm going to get 2,000 people through this.
And here you go. What ends up happening is those kids don't get on their flights
Yes.
because they're dicking around in the airport. And now
Yes.
Lewis Black is enraged and, drama and trauma commences. But this goes back to an issue I have with these type of movies. There is no fear on the part of these kids in these movies. There's
Yes,
no
you're
fear.
right. You're right.
They're
That's
not
so true.
afraid of Lewis Black. They're not afraid of the security. They're not even afraid of being alone in an airport at Christmas.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, then who cares?
Or afraid of being out in a blizzard.
Right.
With no idea where they're going.
Right. Like, there's no fear. And so if there's no fear, there's no
That's
stakes.
true.
And so if there's no stakes, in order to make any of this funny or interesting, they've got to, make it stupid. They've got to make it stupider and stupider and stupider.
Yes.
And, yeah.
I think a simple fix to this also, set this movie in the 90s. Set this movie in the 80s. When
go.
literally,
pre-2001?
Pre-2000, right. Like, where, people did used to, parents did used to drop off their 12-year-old and be like, the gate's 12, good luck, right? Or,
Yes,
where security wasn't as crazy, where you really could have anybody show up in an airport.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
that's a
that would
good
have been
point.
simple.
Yeah.
I don't understand why they wouldn't have, because it really just was insane, where I was like, this is just stupid.
It really was. I was so surprised that when I saw it was directed by Paul, I was like, "What are you talking about? What is this movie? Why would you do this?"
First of all, I think you're right, Adam. You alluded to this. I think Paul Feig wanted to do a John Hughesian type movie that was like kids and heart and cartoonish violent, and kind of failed. Where for whatever reason, I think Home Alone worked.
Yeah,
it
Home
may
Alone's
be
great.
because it's just Kevin. And like the mother in Home Alone is motivated to get back
Right.
to.
But there's real
to
barriers.
Kevin.
There's real
Whereas
things in her way.
The
Obstacles.
dad is motivated too, but the mother doesn't seem.
But it's told from Kevin's point of view.
Yeah.
So because it's told from Kevin's point of view, it is over the top and outlandish.
Yes.
The guy from next door looks like a mass murderer, like ordering pizza and like eating it, like that's all cool. But you're telling it from, again, these kids are too old for that. these kids are
Right.
tweens. These kids have hormones. These kids are like
Yes.
swearing and being punks and whatever. And like it just doesn't work. It doesn't carry.
The other thing is there's this point. There's so many levels where you're just like, okay, I'll buy this. Okay, well that's stupid. That's stupid. There's a point where there's like an unclaimed baggage room, right? So they show this
Yes.
huge room, which first of all I was like, who doesn't eventually claim their baggage, which I think is silly. But in the unclaimed baggage room, there's a surfboard, there's a drum set,
Yep.
there's like loads and loads
Horns?
of just like fun toys, and I'm like, so they basically like at the end like they remake Christmas because of this unclaimed baggage room, and I'm like, who leaves their surfboard and doesn't get it? And what airline reimburses you for a surfboard that they didn't really try to find?
Yeah. I didn't hate that like stupid device. I think if the movie was better, I wouldn't have picked up on that at all. I would have been like,
Agreed.
oh, okay, well, yeah, sure, last baggage claim. But the thing that bothered me was they didn't use it well.
Right.
Like, the kids land, and, they're, like, crawling through the airport, and they find this lost baggage claim area, and they each have, like, a mini montage of doing fun
Yes.
stuff with the baggage. And it's one kid picks up a guitar and plays air guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another kid, like, takes a top hat and cane and does a little shuffle.
Yeah.
Like, what is... This is the best you could do?
Another kid goes through someone's underwear.
Mm-hmm. Like, guys, try harder. And they're not interacting with each other, and I don't...
No.
I think this goes back to the point which you said on, which is the thing I started asking myself at one point is, who is this movie made for? Because as an adult,
Yeah.
I can't stand any of these kids. I want them all to just like be locked in a room for the rest of their lives, or juvenile. Like they're just the worst, grossest, most annoying children ever.
Yep.
And then also as a kid, like, would a kid really think this is funny? Like, I don't know if this is funny
Yeah.
enough. Like, there's a couple moments, but I was like, is this like a 13-year-old's favorite movie? I don't know.
It feels like it's a bunch of adult men going, you know what's funny if you're a kid? This.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, that's what it felt like to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say one good thing about this movie is I really enjoyed Lewis Black for the most part.
Yeah.
But there was a scene at the end which I swear was probably rewritten and refilmed to be this scene, because after the kids win, I guess what you would say, they basically recreate Christmas morning because it's Christmas in the airport, and they get all the passengers and they make them happy. And Lewis Black, as the president of airports, goes up to him and it's kind of like, look, you did a good job here. You won. This is great. But you have to understand, I'm just doing my job trying to get people moving on from the airport. And he had this one line that I thought was great. He's like, because he's trying to find out like why this kid cared so much to make Christmas for everyone. Or like why they wanted to stay. And he's like, why would you care? This is an airport. You're passengers. Passengers leave. And I thought that was like just such a great line that it's like, yeah, this is an airport. Just move on.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. And I really enjoyed that at the end he was just like, yeah, you were right. I'm sorry. I was wrong.
Yeah.
And it's just a really simple scene.
Yeah, you mean after they brilliantly escaped their confinement by using their walkie-talkies
Yeah.
to
also.
somehow
Yeah.
capture their physical movement in the room and then use it to trick the security camera by playing it on a loop? Like,
I was like, oh, do their walkie-talkies have video screens?
I
What's
was
happening?
so confused. Mandy and I both stopped because we're eating pizza and we're just not really watching the movie. We're just eating pizza. And we both go, wait, hold on. And we backed it up 3 times waiting for there to be an explanation. Like the smart kid to be like, well, if you hack it this way, or,
Yes.
like something. But nope. They just put the thing on the thing and that's the thing.
Yeah.
That's all I have for this movie. Is it just like a yeah?
I have one last question. So there are 5
Yes.
kids in this movie. Technically, there are 5 kids. One of the kids disappears for 3/4 of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to figure out, and I want to know why you guys thought they did that. Because what happens is there's the pretty girl, the lead boy, the smart kid, and the tough girl. And then there's the giant awkward kid. And what they do is they have the first 4 kids form relationships and bond and like go through the antics and the big kid's just like, I'm gonna go get a tree, and then he disappears for 45 minutes of the movie to go get a tree, and then he comes back at the very end. He misses all the hijinks, and I'm wondering why. And I want to know your thoughts.
My thought truly is he was a character archetype that was supposed to bring a bizarre form of heart to the movie, because here's this kid who at the beginning he's in a full snowsuit, like a body snowsuit, and he's playing with an Aquaman figure. He doesn't talk to anyone. He's standing off by himself, and so you think he's kind of this like incapable loser.
Right.
And his kind of thing is his journey is not him learning something. It's him showing the audience something, which is just because I look this way and act this way doesn't mean I'm an incapable loser.
Okay.
I'm actually very, not resilient, but very, like, I have a lot of abilities, and I can go out and get a Christmas tree and bring it back.
Okay.
That's
Again, isn't the whole like plot of this that no one can leave the airport? Like that was what also too. It was like he went outside the airport to a Christmas tree lot, got a Christmas tree, brought it back inside without any alarms going off or any sort of detection.
Yeah.
Which just a toss-away line about security. Oh, this was really tough to get through security.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. And I remember it's like, okay, again,
is
anybody at the security line? I don't know.
I would have loved if they had cut back to the security line. There were like dozens of dead guards, like killed by a kid with a Christmas tree, just like embedded pine needles in someone's face, type of thing. It's hard to get through security. Oh my God, Gus, what did you do for Christmas?
Rob Riggle has like a pine cone just stuffed in his mouth.
Exactly. Yeah. For Aquaman.
Yeah.
Well, should we rate these 2 movies?
Yes, let us rate these 2 movies.
Okay, so now we have to answer the question: is this a movie that people should also watch? We have a 3-tiered rating structure. The top tier is people must also watch. The second tier is people could also watch, and that's just like maybe. And finally people don't watch, and that's like don't watch the movie. I mean, it says it right there.
It's clear. It seems pretty clear.
It's in the title.
It's in the title.
Ladies first, Tara.
So we're starting with Falling for Christmas?
Yeah, start with Falling for Christmas.
Okay. So Falling for Christmas, I'm going to say for people could also watch. I'm only saying that because there are people that I know in my life that are diehard these Hallmarky Christmas movies. This one does nothing new and it doesn't fall out of the box, but it's worth to see just to check out the Lohan. And I've seen much, much, much worse Hallmark movies. So how about that?
Dave?
I am going to, I'm really, this is tough for me because I have to say, going into this, I was thinking people don't also watch. But I have to go with, I think Tar's right, people could also watch. I paid more attention to this movie than I did the other movie. And I felt there was charming moments, but I really felt it was completely heartless. I think you're exactly right. It didn't fall out of the box. But it was at the same time, you could see the budget on the screen.
Yeah, you can.
It didn't look like a TV movie.
Right.
It looked like
a movie.
You know, a low budget rom-com, but theatrical still. Great shooting, great editing. And she's kind of charming, and you know, if you want an easy, cozy Christmas movie, this does it.
Okay, I
Adam.
disagree with both of you.
Adam's face is like so mad. It's like bright red.
It's like, I can't believe you two. People
he looks like the Grinch hearing the Whovilles sing their song.
Look, people don't watch this movie. Why? Because we need to aspire to better. We need to work harder. All of the pieces were there for this to be a decent movie. They were all there. Like you said, it's got Lindsay Lohan. It's got a budget. And they just dropped every single ball that was lobbed at them. And it was atrocious. It was really hard to watch. I understand, Tara, your point about this. Like, this is a genre. Like, this is a genre of film. And if you want to tell me that Mar Vista is going to make 10 of these every year for a total of
Yeah.
$10 million, and that's what these movies are going to cost.
That's more than they would spend.
I know,
Like, sure.
but
Yeah,
I'm just
I
saying,
was saying-
hypothetically speaking, then fine. Yeah, great. It's garbage. Throw it away, throw it away, throw it away, throw it away. But you know that this movie by itself probably cost $10 million, maybe more than that. With Lindsay Lohan.
I'm gonna say 5 to 10.
Yeah.
But they didn't, like, the production budget on this was not small. They did spend money on this.
Right, and there were enough individual, like probably the actors themselves, aside from Lindsay, didn't get a ton of cash.
No.
But there were enough actors featured in this that they had to make offers to some of these people.
Sure.
You know,
Yeah.
couple that where they are shooting on some location. You know, like
This
this
is a lot of stage, but yeah, they were somewhere where there's enough snow to have made this movie.
Yeah, so that's travel.
Yeah.
That's putting people up. That's yada yada yada. They spend money on this movie, and they
Yeah.
need to aspire to better. So do not watch this movie.
You know what, Adam? I'm gonna find the Santa from that movie, and I'm gonna have him grant one of your wishes.
Yes. He's going to show you the true meaning of Christmas.
All
Be
right,
careful
guys, so
what
if
you
you don't-
wish for.
If you don't hear from Tara ever again,
God damn it!
You know that a
Or-
little boy
right, or-
got his Christmas wish.
Or
Wait,
if Tara comes on to this next podcast being like, I don't remember you guys that well. And like that.
I was like,
Christmas
my
wishes
wish came
come
true. Be like, Santa! How dare you?
Santa!
Okay, unaccompanied minors. I'm happy to start. People never watch this. Never. Don't. Never. Just don't even.
Yeah.
Don't.
People
don't
burn,
watch.
burn
Don't
the
also
find
watch.
the everyone go out, find the original film and burn it. Because I'm pretty sure this was shot on probably on film in 2006.
It was.
It was
It definitely
shot
was
on film.
It was film.
That means someone spent film stock money on this movie. Find that film, burn it.
Burn it.
Someone's been film docking.
Oh.
I agree. People don't watch, and I gotta tell you again. I changed my mind after this discussion. It just now that I realize I was like fading interest throughout this whole movie. It must not have been that good.
No,
so.
wait a minute, Dave.
People
so
don't
wait,
watch.
you were going to say people should or
Really?
people could? People could watch
People
or must
could.
watch?
No.
People could.
Wait,
You
why?
would be wrong. You'd
Why?
be so wrong.
I understand
Why?
that we changed your point of view, but why?
Because I enjoyed Battle of the Network Stars inside the airport. I thought it was great seeing mid 2000 TV stars all together on screen.
Sure. Okay.
I always get into, like, I'm a sucker for Christmas movies.
Sure.
So
Okay.
the heartfelt moments at the end, like the kid who just wanted to bring Christmas to his sister, I thought that was really sweet.
Okay. Okay.
And, I just thought it had, like, enough laughs in general for me that I was like, oh, this is kind of cute. But at the same time, I felt like it was work to watch it, where Falling
Yeah.
for Christmas did not feel that way
Okay. There you go.
as much.
That's fair. Your opinion is completely valid. I was curious to the points.
No, I
I
think
couldn't-
that I like the question.
Yeah, no, I'm surprised as well, Adam, because Dave, I literally is like, it was such a slog. I would say it's one of the top 5 worst movies we've ever watched.
Oh,
for
guys,
sure.
we've got to do this top 5 list because Tara
Yeah.
said that enough
Yes.
times that I'm really curious to see what her top 5 worst movies are.
This is definitely in it. This is definitely in it. If we went through, yeah, I don't think this will be the worst.
Maybe we should do that for the new year.
Okay.
Ooh, that'd be fun. That'd be fun.
Yeah,
Okay.
our own top 5 worst movies we watched. What about you, Adam?
What about me?
What did you? Oh, you already said.
Oh,
people
I already
don't
said. I
watch.
jumped
That's
right
Yeah,
on
yeah,
the
yeah.
back of
Yeah,
like burn this film stock.
That's
yeah.
right. I'm sorry.
No, that's
I was paying
fine.
attention to you like I was paying attention to this movie.
No, that's fine. But I do have some fun stuff for what I'm watching now.
Yes.
What are
Okay.
you watching now?
So
Adam?
right now, I'm late to the party, guys. But BoJack Horseman, I am
Oh,
so
yes,
deep
yes.
into BoJack Horseman, because I mean it's dealing with depression and bipolar and also alcoholism and just some really interesting takes on everything from relationships to sexuality to relationships with parents. Like, it is such a smart freaking cartoon, and it drives me nuts the number of people I have to pitch to watch this show because it's a cartoon. And the minute people are like, it's a cartoon, I'm like, watch the dang show. But yeah, everyone go out, watch BoJack Horseman. Can't recommend it enough. It's on Netflix. It's not new, but it's great.
I'm gonna have to give that a go.
You'd
I'll
like
take
it,
your
Dave.
Oh, it's
I've watched
fantastic.
some of it.
Yeah.
Dave, what are
How
you
about
watching?
you, Tara? Oh, what am I watching?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a movie that came out last year and to me was an instant Christmas classic. 8-Bit Christmas, starring Doogie Howser.
Really?
And he's telling this. Yeah, this is a modern day Christmas story.
Okay.
It's telling. It's steeped in nostalgia of your first Nintendo NES. It's all about this. A 10-year-old or 11-year-old in the mid-'80s trying to get the Nintendo for Christmas. And just like Ralphie was trying to get the Red Ryder BB gun, it's the Nintendo, and it's hysterical. Doogie Howser, whose name I can't remember.
Neil Patrick Harris.
NPH.
Thank you. Neil Patrick Harris, as always, is amazing in it. And it has a fantastic... actually child stars. It has a fantastic child cast that is sweet, and it has such a heart magical Christmas ending that is so sweet and beautiful. 100% 8-Bit Christmas, HBO Max. Take a look.
I'm on the SAG nominating committee this year, which is exciting. It's just for everybody that's woohoo! It's a totally random process, so they just pick you. I was picked once before, so all that means is they send me all the screeners, and I'm supposed to put in things before January. So I'm trying to get through those. By the way, there's a ton of movies, and I feel like first of all, everybody should be going to the theater again. Try to go to see movies in the theater. The streaming thing is kind of making me sad about the state of movies. Like some of these things really should be watched, but so far I've watched a couple that I was like, meh. But two I really liked so far is My Policeman with Harry Styles. That is a pretty good movie. I was surprised it stuck with me. I just thought it was a really well done movie. And then there's this movie called The Good Nurse with Jessica Chastain, and I forget the other English actor character. He's so good. I just want to say I think Jessica Chastain is so undervalued. I think everything I've ever seen her in, she is committed 1,000%. This is no different, and I don't know why we don't appreciate her more. I think she's really phenomenal. And
yeah, she is.
This movie was also, again, neither one of these movies is like boom bang, big, but they're small stories, and I really like both of these so far. So
nice.
I'll keep you updated on my other screeners.
Thank you.
That must have been perfect during
COVID.
Wait,
yeah.
did we talk about you having COVID during? Yes, we did.
Already mentioned
that must have been
once.
perfect. That must have been perfect while you were having COVID, just having movies mailed to you. So you
it kind of was. It was kind of
nice.
Watch. Dave, what did you watch during your COVID stint?
During my COVID stint, you know what? I get like my attention span crumbles. Like I watched half of Copland. I watched Fletch, the new Fletch movie. I watched old Columbos. I watched old Cheers. I like anything that I can just fall asleep to.
Sure.
Get it. I get it.
Yeah. There was a lot of crappy movies. Like mid-90s movies I started watching, like City Hall with Al Pacino.
Ugh.
And
woof.
I don't even know that one.
Yeah, don't bother.
You don't need to.
Okay, fair enough. Well, that's our year, guys.
That's our year. Merry Christmas. Thanks for listening. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Remember, give us a shout out to what Christmas movies you're watching this Christmas. Let us know at People Also Watch. Again, no ED. So Instagram, feed up some more hymns commercials for me. And so next year, remember, let us know what you're watching, and we're going to watch it too.
Yeah, we take suggestions.
Yeah. I'm not closed off.
I'm not bitter. So
Good,
thanks for listening. This is Dave.
This is Tara.
And this is Adam. We appreciate you here at People Also Watch. Have a good holiday. Have a good New Year. And if you get a lump of coal, that was Tara.
Hey. Maybe. Also, I broke into your house. Sorry about that.